right, good morning, Facebook. Hopefully, everyone is waking up to a great mood today. I mean, it is sunny out, but it is a little cold. So, I'm in the process of turning this rental property back over. I was able to take up all the carpet, so I'm gonna have some new carpet installed, new paint. It's in Middletown, Delaware. Overall, this property did great. The tenant did a great job here, and it's no major damage. But with any property that you have leased out, if you become a landlord, you will be required to put some money back into it 9 times out of 10. That's just the bottom line. It's the basement. Nothing real major here. Just cleaning. So yeah, when you own a rental property, if you want to be if you would like to become a landlord, what's going to happen is you have to get adjusted to a few things, right? That monthly check that you receive, it doesn't all belong to you, especially if you have a mortgage on the property. Well, you owe the bank, right? You have to pay the bank, and then if you have some expenses, some of your expenses could be a water bill. If you're responsible for the water bill. Now you can incorporate that into the rent, but depending on the municipality that you're in, right? You will be required to pay the water bill. And you can try to incorporate that into the rent. But ultimately it would be your responsibility, and it can fluctuate, right? So that's one of the items there that you can really get stuck with, is a water bill that fluctuates. So I was able to take up the carpet. The carpet definitely needed for replacement. But that's not unusual though, owning rental property, right? It's not unusual. I mean, if you can't clean it, which this property, cleaning wasn't an option. It was time for it to be removed. It's the bathroom. Did a great job here. I'm not upset at all. Because when you become a landlord, you know better, right? Some of the income that you receive will have to be put up, right? It will have to put in reserve, so you can use it to do what you're seeing right now. Get the property back up so that you can rent the property out as soon as possible, and that's the main goal. The sooner you get the property back up and running, the sooner you can start collecting income again. So far, just painting, carpet. There's a water leak. I have a plumber coming out tomorrow to check that out. There's a stain in the ceiling. I wasn't aware of it, and I was told the tenant informed me that. Was not aware of it either. So it is what it is, right? You have to have a different personality to become a landlord, because what happens is, people change, right? You might rent the property out to someone, and later on that someone may change, right? Change really comes when people are behind on rent, right? And you have to collect the rent. And you have to collect the rent, and then, a lot of questions formulate around that, and for some reason you become the bad guy or the bad gal. For some reason, I never understood that being a landlord, when problems arise with the tenant, they tend to blame you for the problems in their life, and that's not the case. Um, it's all business, and you're the landlord, and individual's financial situation really has nothing to do with you. But as time go on, they tend to blame you for their situation. And in some cases, some properties, I've witnessed individuals taking it out, their problems out on the property, right? Like, how ridiculous is that? Because you're struggling, or you're going through something, or you made bad choices, you're taking it out on the property. That's ridiculous. So that may happen as well. I mean, all types of things can happen when you own a property. You just have to have a thick skin and understand that it's all business, and understand that it's long term. Now, you can try to sort through that, and the way you do that is at the beginning, before you rent the property out. You have to do your checks, right? You have to do your background check and credit check, criminal check, references, visitations, whatever it takes for you to get a level of comfort that this is the right tenant. You have to do all that, whatever it takes. Now, even though, okay, there's the leak right there. Even though you may do that, there's still a chance that a good tenant can wind up being a bad tenant, so to say, or vice versa. But there's still a chance, right? Because people change. It's like marriage, you know what I mean? I guess that's why they renew their vows, right? I mean, you meet somebody right now, and 10 years from now, they're not the same people, right? You got to renew your vows. Like, who are you? I thought you was a nice person. I thought you cleaned the bathroom. At least that's what you told me, and that's what I saw. But now, you don't clean the bathroom. So people change. But, landlords have to deal with a lot. A lot of people think that landlords make a lot of money, and some of them do, right? Some landlords do make a lot of money if they have a lot of doors, right? If they have a good number of doors. If they don't have a good number of doors, then the cash flow is really not that high, right? They may be focusing on appreciation and long-term appreciation, but monthly cash flow is not going to be that high, especially if they have a mortgage on the property. Probably the average is anywhere between about $300 to $500, to be real. But if you got multiple doors time that, then obviously you do the math. If you're getting $500 cash flow and you got 5 doors, that's $2,500 a month, right? Mine is your expenses. So yeah, so a lot of tenants think the landlords are, the landlord pull up in a Mercedes Benz or a Range Rover, then the landlord is, making all this money, and people get emotional over that, right? So if you want to become a landlord, if you have to collect your rent, you probably need to collect your rent in your runner Toyota Corolla, the one that you just run with. You pull up in your Mercedes, the tenant catches feelings, like you making all this bank from them or something like that. It's crazy, but it happens. It happens. So, just need to make sure that you have the right person in your house that fits your personality and fits your business model. It's very important. And that's basically the only way that you can try to prevent any catastrophe long term. But the property is definitely, if you rent out a property, it's definitely not going to look the same when your tenant leaves. It's definitely not going to look the same. But you have to have the reserves set aside for that. It's a long-term game, being a landlord. It's lucrative, but it's long term. And you have to get a good number of doors before you retire, right? It's not the fastest, it's not the quickest way to make money. There's a lot of quick ways to make money. A lot of quick ways to make money. Especially if you were brought up from different sandboxes, right? So it's not the fastest way to make money, but it's not to be discounted, because we all know here in this country, 98% of millionaires own real estate, right? So for long term, it's best to have some real estate in your portfolio along with your other investments, right? 401k, whatever the other investments you have. I'm not a investment advisor, but it's good to have a mixture, right? So, alrighty, that's it. I appreciate you looking at this video and this property. So I'm going to have a plumber come in, carpet, paint, appliances because the dishwasher don't work, cleaning, HVAC, updated, service, and I said the carpet. Probably the bathroom. Probably these floors. I may change these floors out. I'm not certain. Some issues, but nothing major that it's going to prevent it from being rented out. Okay, so alrighty, that's it. I'm expecting 2 weeks, maybe. And I have the contractors lined up, but you know how that goes too. So 2-3 weeks. Should be good to go. All right, signing off. Take care.